Hey, this is Audrey Goblin for another episode of Audrey's Adjustments. So I'm Audrey Goblin. I am the founder of the Audrey Company, which is a training and development company that trains women leaders to align their financial strategies and behaviors to their vision, values, and priorities so that they can fund their lifestyle and leave a financial inheritance that is meaningful to the people and the causes they love. So today, I wanted to talk about transitions. I was thinking about transitions last night and even this morning, and how we can spend an entire day moving from one task or one environment to another, but not give much thought about transitioning. Let me be a little bit more candid about that. So for me, when I started my first business back in 2003, I had a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. And so I used to work for companies where, I had them in daycare. So I had a transition from when I left the office to the commute to go pick them up from daycare. I could use that time to drop all the work stuff to really unload in the car, whether it's screaming or singing really loudly, so that I could be fully present and with them when I picked them up from daycare, and then be present with them until they went to bed at night. And then when I started my own company, I was working at home, which is really no different in this year. So now I'm back to working from home instead of an office because of the pandemic. And so I've been thinking about the fact that having a transition from, my home life to my work life to my home life is a little more challenging when you're sort of at home all day. And for some people, I actually have a bedroom I've converted to an office, so I can really act like I'm transitioning in and out of work throughout my day. But for those who don't have, they're using part of a bedroom or using the dining room table, then transitioning becomes a little more challenging. And add the fact that a lot of people are now homeschooling their children. How do we help them make the transitions? So I wanted to talk about how I go about making transitions. It's mental, it's emotional, it's physical. And so what I do in the morning is, I get up and get ready as if I was going to make that commute to work. Right now, granted, my commute to work is exactly, a couple of minutes going downstairs, making coffee and breakfast, not eating at my desk, eating at the kitchen table or the dining room table, having a meal, thinking about my day, savoring my coffee instead of just horking it down. And then I go into my office so that I can work. And so come the end of the day or for lunch hours, things of that nature, then I want to make sure that I'm actually making that transition. So if I want to take a break to go walk the dog, then I just, do like I'm taking a coffee break and grab him. We go outside for a walk. Luckily, the weather's been really nice, so I can make those walks, those breaks during the day. And then when I actually make lunch, which is something different than when I was going to the office, because when I was in the office, I ate at my desk. Bad for your health, for being able to just to have your brain know that you're done eating. So I actually go out and sit at my dining room table and I eat my lunch, and then I come back to come to work. So let's talk about the end of the day, right? So really, when it comes to the end of my day, I literally shut everything down. Now I have 2 computers. I have one for work and one personally. So when I know that I'm actually done with my work computer, I shut it all down, I disconnect it, and then I connect my personal computer so that over the weekend or in the evenings, if I want to do personal stuff, I just work on my own personal computer. Then it just makes it easier. I don't have to remember where everything else. But part of that transition at the end of the day is turning off the light, closing the door, and then going up into my bedroom, and then like literally putting on yoga pants or sweatpants or jeans or a sundress or whatever it is, so that I'm really making that transition to now I'm at home doing personal things, whether it's laundry or dinner or just hanging out or, going out to dinner with family or friends. Transitions are really important. And so the reason why I think, for me anyway, transitions are have come up this week is because there is heightened awareness that it's the start of the school year, and kids don't necessarily have the ability to make the transitions as easily as we do. So if we're a little bit more conscious of, here's how our school day works and here's the end of the school. Now, granted, I don't have little ones at home, and I didn't homeschool my kids. But what I know is that when I made firmer routines for them, they had fewer tantrums. They had fewer blowouts, and I totally paid attention to their personalities. So one needed to be able to walk around while he was doing his work, and the other one just needed to sit. So when we're talking about transitioning to different areas of our life, right? So if we're doing schoolwork for a couple of hours and then we're going to transition into doing our actual professional work, what does that look like? And how do we engage the kids in such a way that they understand that, they're working, so I'm working, and then we can take a break together. I don't know how that's going to work for you, but what I know is if we don't make some clearer delineations between what's personal and what's professional and what's family and what's individual, right? Because I still need time to gather my own thoughts and collect my brain in the morning, and then at night just to decompress and maybe just, I don't know, word vomit over somebody, and we just kind of have the thoughts for the day, and then I'm good. Or maybe I've done too many Zoom calls and I'm done talking to humans, so then I just have a conversation with the dog, and then we're cool for the night. I want to encourage you to think about how you're transitioning through stuff. Now, one of the things I do, only because it keeps my brains together, is I actually get dressed for work. Now, I don't do the heels like I normally do. And yeah, I put a little mascara on, and sometimes I put lipstick on, but I do put on slacks, or not really slacks, jeans, and then maybe shorts or a skirt, only because it is so critical for me to be done with work. My tendency is to be a workaholic, to put too much effort into work and then be mentally, emotionally, physically drained by the end of the day. And then I have nothing left for myself and for my family. And so I get dressed for work. And then when I'm done for the day, I change my clothes, as silly as that sounds, unless of course I'm wearing jeans. I might change my top. I might put on, baggier pants, something more comfortable, whatever it is, to just tell my brain I'm done being work Audrey for the day. And now I'm just Audrey who's gonna have dinner, watch a movie, take a walk, do whatever, hang out with friends, talk to people who I don't need to, like, we're just gonna share space and not do work together. That's really becomes important. The reason transitions are important is because we're also in a place in history where people are finding that they have to find new ways to, bring income into their household or bring income into their business. So how do you transition from what you knew to what is new? Take a pause, figure out, am I really done with what I was doing? Do I want to continue in that field, or do I want to do something different? Sometimes we may have to just continue in the field that we were in because we're not sure what we want to transition to, or we've been laid off. And so we have no choice but to make a transition to now becoming a full-time job seeker, which means, getting your resume done, being prepared to do these Zoom interviews, which is very different than interviewing was before. Again, a number of transitions we can go through just to make sure that we're fully present and engaged in the situation at hand, right? So even getting prepared for this live, I was working, and I realized, I looked at the time and I went, oh, we're getting close to our broadcast time. So let me take a look at, just wind down. So I got up, grabbed a glass of water, walked around, and then decided, hey, so we're going to talk about transition, and kind of ran through my mind the points that I wanted to handle, and then came and sat down. No, I didn't change my clothes for you guys, so I'm still in work clothes. Sorry about that. But I wanted to make sure that I was being consistent in showing up and making sure that I am completely focused on doing this broadcast and talking about the subject at hand, as opposed to having that little thought of, gosh, do I have that one more thing I need to do, whether it's laundry or the project I was working on for work, or the myriad of little things that take up space in the back of our. And I'm doing this because in my cartoon brain, all the things that haven't been finished, all those loose ends, are literally like threads becoming a dust bunny in the back of my head, taking up space that doesn't need to take up, which is another reason why having a transition routine is really important. Then you can literally say, this is what's finished, this is what I need to work on next, but I don't have to work on it now. And I can move forward with my evening, or I can move forward with my day, knowing that I'm only going to tackle those things that I can either finish today or move forward today. And then when I'm done, I'm done. So what's the recap end all for this day? Having a transition, being cognizant of your transitions of environments, being cognizant of being present and what's going to work for you for the different environments you need to be in, even if you're only in your home all day, is super important, so that you're fully present and engaged for yourself, for the people around you, for the people that you work with, and your family at home. It makes a really big difference when they know that they have you fully, they have all of your attention, and you can be present and fully engaged. So this is Audrey Godwin with episode 4 of Audrey's Adjustments, and we'll be chatting with you again tomorrow.